Hi, I'm Meagan Skidmore, and this is the Beyond the Shadow of Doubt. I'm a woman, daughter, sister, spouse, mother, life coach, and person of faith on a mission to normalize asking questions and allowing doubts, not only in a faith journey, but in all aspects of life. Join me in bringing this traditionally taboo topic out of the shadows of shame and into the light. I'm a firm believer that we normalize through more talking and engaging in discussion. More talking peels back, exposes, and erases the layers of shame associated with questions and doubts. When we're more authentic about our journey, we are more powerful because shame has no power in the face of authenticity. Beyond the Shadow of Doubt podcast is a proud member of the Dialogue Podcast Network, which is part of the Dialogue Journal found at dialoguejournal.com. Founder Eugene England was a Mormon writer, teacher, and scholar who wrote, "My faith encourages my curiosity and awe. It thrusts me out into relationship with all creation and encourages me to enter into dialogue. My hope is that this podcast is an extension of that vision." I am so excited to share with you that the Love Loud Music Festival is coming to the Lone Star State. Founded in 2017 by Dan Reynolds, Love Loud is a catalyst to bring communities and families together to help ignite the vital conversation about what it means to unconditionally love our LGBTQ plus friends and family. Love Loud offers hope to people, letting them know they're not alone and encouraging acceptance in the home and community. It all begins with talking, sharing, and showing the realities of what LGBTQ plus individuals face daily. If you are in Texas and interested in volunteering along with me and some of your fellow Texans, please reach out and I will connect you with the right person. I would love to stand side by side and serve along with you. More information is on their website, which I have listed in the show notes. Hey everybody, I love Halloween, so I decided I would do a fun podcast series with Halloween themes. I'm calling it Halloween Scaries, and today's episode is cleaning out the skeletons in the closet. To be inside the closet is a euphemism for staying hidden. Why stay hidden? Well, there could be lots of reasons, some having to do with safety issues around mental, emotional, physical, or spiritual safety. For this episode, I'm going to go into the closet and bring out something that has been hidden, so to speak, for me. And that would be the hurt I feel over some messages from the pulpit, from leaders of, I'll say the LDS Church. However, I want to acknowledge that there are other faiths that send harmful messages. So here's some real talk about LDS General Conference. If we are unwilling to examine and talk about these painful messages when something doesn't sit right for us or causes active pain, whether or not it applies to us personally, are we or you pretending to be someone you're not? I'm not sure I know the answer to that just yet. So I'll be honest, it's a little scary to get this real on a podcast episode. However, I feel like I'm supposed to share some things. When it comes to the things that mean a lot to me, like family, God, and faith, I'm willing to go into the closet with a broom, a dust cloth, mop in hand, grab an empty box to put stuff in destined for the Salvation Army and whatnot in order to clean it out. Cobwebs, dust bunnies, dead bugs, and the skeletons. Obviously, I'm speaking metaphorically. So after listening to the most recent General Conference, in full disclosure, I couldn't listen to all of it. Certain messages hurt my heart so much that they caused physical and emotional pain. My question for you is, what is so wrong about having an experience that caused pain and subsequently real feelings, real hurt? Is there this unspoken rule or expectation that to experience anything outside a certain parameter equates to our level of goodness or worth or integrity? I want to be able to talk about how painful certain messages were and not be gaslighted or discredited as a believer, a spiritual being, a human being. I don't believe all of our experiences need to be Xerox copies. The weekend of General Conference is one that I've long upheld my entire life. Well, except when I was 5. I hated sitting still that long, and that was before the days of conference packets and conference treats. And I feel like I should be able to share or say when it hurts. And I suppose it's more accurate to say instead of should. In an ideal world, I want to be able to openly share and do this with those I love or worship with or share witness of Christ with without fear of rejection or criticism or fill in the blank. I want to normalize listening, even if you feel uncomfortable with what you're hearing. I want to normalize listening with a curious ear, willing to learn of another's experience and loving them through it. Those who are in active pain want to be heard. That is the first step to truly ministering to others, listening. If we are listening to offer a rebuttal or refute or correct, we are not really listening. As the listener offering ministering care, it's on you to navigate those feelings of discomfort that are yours and yours alone, not the person being ministered to. A concept we teach in life coaching is emotional childhood versus emotional adulthood. Brooke Castillo of the Life Coach School where I certified taught us in emotional childhood, many live on autopilot, playing out the programming of their childhoods without questioning it. Our words, actions, and thoughts come from what they were told as children, never having evaluated if it still applies. She continues, if you constantly are attempting to control others in your life, allowing yourself to be defined by what others say, and I add, or even what you think they say about you, or blame your results or outcomes or bad luck on others or external events, you are in emotional childhood. Brooke continues, once we have reached adulthood, our brains are developed enough to be able to understand what we are thinking. We are capable of reflecting on our thoughts, and therefore we can decide to think no matter what anyone else does in our lives. As children, we don't have this capacity, she says. In fact, we think that everything going on in our lives is what causes our feelings, and this assumption is only perpetuated by how we are raised. Adults make comments to children such as, Sally, you really hurt that little girl's feelings. You need to say you are sorry for hurting her feelings, or did it hurt your feelings when that boy said those mean words to you? This teaches children others are responsible for feelings, thoughts, and so on. It becomes so ingrained that we don't question or recognize how disempowering it is. End quote. So conversely, emotional adulthood means taking responsibility for our pain and our joy, not expecting other people to make us happy, not expecting others to make us feel secure, taking responsibility for what we feel no matter what someone else does or does not do. If you resist leaning into the discomfort of whatever you're feeling when someone shares something that you don't agree with or don't have a lot of experience with, or perhaps don't know much about, ask yourself, am I in emotional childhood or emotional adulthood? Without this awareness, we will not truly be able to minister to one another. A person in need who is sharing their heart does not need to pay the price of your discomfort, and that price can be high. Dust bunnies and skeletons stay in the closet. They'll start to stack up. If you have something to share, I see you. It's not easy to talk about these things because that means opening your heart without knowing what is on the other end. It could be a listening ear, a person willing to learn and offer love, or you might be shut down. As a trauma-informed coach, I provide a safe place, both in terms of confidentiality and emotional safety, for my clients to talk about the scary things. When you are not used to opening yourself up, especially about the tough and sticky stuff, it can be emotionally paralyzing. I listen as my clients open up and guide them to listen to their intuition and to make decisions, like whether or not to share, determine when the time is right to open up to others. In the process, we do identity work. Examine the stories you've written about you, your life, your family, your faith, your roles. Listen carefully because the stories are there. I also help guide my clients to find their core values. Determining your core values helps you regain your footing and make decisions, including sharing the scary things or not, from a place of mind, body, soul alignment, a place of genuineness and authenticity that is you, your essence, your intuition, your inner wisdom, capital I, capital W. My signature program is Life Outside the Binary, meaning when you experience an awakening and see for yourself the world is not all black and white, you choose which of your long-held stories align and live outside of the ones that don't. As your coach, my role is to invite, guide, and curate a one-on-one experience custom-made for you that helps you create this home base, this safe place from which to take leaps of faith, learn to trust yourself more deeply, and act in alignment with your inner wisdom. It is truly empowering. It takes work, and as such, I let you set the pace. What are the skeletons in your faith journey closet? send me an email or set up a complimentary Discover coaching call to chat about it. The links are in the show notes or at Hopeful Spaces is a Dallas Hope Charities component of Hopeful Discussions, sponsored by Mercedes-Benz Financial Services USA. It's a free monthly parent, ally, or caregiver support group facilitated by Meagan Skidmore Coaching. Email chc@dallashopecharities.org for more info. Beginning October 5th, the Dallas Hope Charities Collective Hope Coalition will be hosting their first ever book club and wrap up in November in honor of Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week, November 13th through the 18th. Every week, we'll be discussing Dr. Brandon Andrew Robinson's book, Coming Out to the Streets, and how the book ties in to the Dallas Hope Charities fight to end hopelessness. It begins Thursday, October 5th through Thursday, November 16th. If you would like more information, please send an email to chc@dallashopecharities.org. Books can be purchased on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, UC Press, or through used bookstores. If cost is a barrier, please reach out for alternative options. Visit MeaganSkidmoreCoaching.com to find this podcast and additional free resources, including the link for a complimentary coaching session. Follow me on Facebook or Instagram for more, or to send me a DM. Help the podcast grow. Please follow, review, and share with a friend.